Pokemon Emerald was my very first Pokemon game. Unlike most of my friends, I've never played Red and Blue or Gold and Silver as a kid. When I finally completed Pokemon Emerald, I really got all the Pokemon, most of the unobtainable legendaries I got through trading with friends and stuff. I was sent to the Hall of Fame. I didn't know that it wasn't supposed to happen, of course. I knew no one who had completed the game like I did. I didn't do anything. I just waited for something to happen. After a couple of seconds, however, I decided that probably nothing would happen and I tried walking. It worked. I looked around for a little bit. I was curious to see if there was anything in there because you couldn't explore it in your main game. When I had walked around the room for about 10 minutes, I figured there was nothing to do. Disappointed, I wanted to leave the Hall of Fame, but when I wanted to walk through the door, a text box appeared. Leaving already? Where did that voice come from? There was no one in the room, I had checked that. The game gave me an option to talk back. I typed, "Wallace, is that you?" Nothing happened. Just when I wanted to turn off my Game Boy, another text box appeared. No, I am not that weakling. This time I couldn't talk back, but a glitched trainer sprite walked into the screen. I am the original champion, the very best, like no one ever was. I was still wondering how the game could interact with me asking if he was Wallace. Even as a kid, I was interested in how technical stuff worked, and I could not imagine how they would make something this interactive. I could have typed anything. I was sure the glitched sprite was Red, the original champion, like he said. "I am here to challenge you," he said, "but not here. I'm not supposed to be here. That's why I look like this." By now I was very confused. Why would Game Freak put something like this in their game for someone who had completed the Pokédex? "Find me," Red said before he faded away. It didn't make any sense. Because I was pretty sure it was Red who appeared in the game, I bought a Pokemon Red game and played through it, expecting something to happen when I completed the Pokédex on that game. So, I completed the Pokédex and nothing happens. I tried completing Pokemon Gold version because I had heard Red was also in that game. By the time I managed to complete my Pokemon Gold game, Pokemon Platinum had already been released. When I filled up my Pokédex in Gold, nothing happened, and I was wondering what this was all about. By now I wasn't even sure whether or not that little encounter with Red and Emerald was a dream or not. He said, "Find me." And I had done what I did before twice by now, completing the Pokédex. And I couldn't find him. I decided that I would check Mount Silver. I had already beaten Red, and I knew he disappeared, but it was worth a try. When I got to the summit, I was met by empty space. Red was not here either. That was the moment I wanted to give up, and when I picked up my Game Boy again to get out of that place, Red walked in. It's been a long time. I was shocked, but excited at the same time. I finally found him. You know who is the very best, right? You've completed 3 Pokédexes, defeated countless trainers, gym leaders and Elite Four members. You even managed to take down my team. But I can't let you do this, because I am the very best, like no one ever was, and no one ever will be. I was thrown into a battle with Red, no problem. My level 100 legendaries could take him on, like it's nothing. Just like the first time. Not so much this time though. He led off with his level 115 Charizard. My jaw dropped when I saw the level. I could, after he killed 4 of my Pokemon, finally beat his Charizard. But next up was his level 168 Mewtwo. The only 2 Pokemon I had left were Mewtwo and Lugia, and neither of them had moves that could kill this thing. He killed both of my remaining Pokemon. He took all my money and I didn't want to battle him again. I didn't want to ever think about this fight again. But I wasn't sent back to the Pokemon Center. I was still on Mount Silver. I told you, I was the very best. Red had reclaimed his status. I can't have you walking around, training more and become better than me. I hope you can understand this. He pushed my character off the mountain, and he just stood there. The screen faded to black and displayed text. The end. This, by itself, is a weird story. I know, but it gets worse. Because when I went to the store to buy Pokemon Platinum, I saw someone in the reflection of the box. I looked around and I saw a guy about my age. He had a red cap, a red shirt, and just normal jeans. "Are you sure you want this game?" he asked. Well, I'm a big fan of the... Who are you talking to, young man? The shopkeeper looked at me. "Are you alright? You look like you just saw a ghost." "Yes, thank you, I'm alright." "Do you want this game? It's really good." He pointed at Pokemon Platinum. "No, thank you, I think I will just go home." After all this, I haven't touched a Pokemon game for years. But even after all this time, I don't even think about completing a Pokédex 100% anymore.